Yo, what's up, guys? Got a new video. So we're gonna start with some jiu-jitsu news. We got Vince Vaughn. Actor Vince Vaughn talks about the benefits of jiu-jitsu. You can handle yourself. Awesome to have. He's not always with the best crew, but he's got the Gracie Bros. So he just started jiu-jitsu. A lot of actors do it. So renowned actor Vince Vaughn, a longtime Brazilian jiu-jitsu enthusiast, recently shared his thoughts on the benefits of the sport can provide for children. So I guess his kids are training. And it says he started training in 2016 and earned his blue belt in 2018 under Henner and Hiron Gracie. So it's pretty awesome. I think let's just get into the video. Let's hear what he's got to say. It wants me to sign in. I don't want to sign in.
You make a lot of friends. I think also it gives you a lot of confidence. You can handle yourself. The way Rodrigo and his wife trains is incredible. You can see the kids, really go after it in a safe environment where they're learning. There's instructors who are, constantly walking around and monitoring what they're doing and giving tips and giving notes. And I think it just helps kids, have an area where they can touch themselves and be physical.
Pause on that.
And so off the mat, they really don't have a lot to prove, so they're a little more capable to walk away from a situation because they kind of have an outlet for their aggression and they feel confident that they could handle situations, obviously. So it helps them actually kind of resolve conflicts and have less problems.
Yo, that's awesome to see. And isn't that a huge kids class? It says newly remodeled In-Spirit Jiu-Jitsu Academy led by Rodrigo Freitas. That's awesome, bro. That's a huge kids program. So take note of that, guys. You want those actors in your class, you got to have the kids class. So let's go ahead and get me riled up. We got Reddit. Reddit, bro. Purple belt complains that I tapped too early. I believe this white belt complaining this time. Too long, didn't read. White belt cries because purple belt hurt his feelings. Man, what is this world coming to? I will describe the exact position for the doubters. He had my right leg wrapped in a single leg X. Okay. My toes were in his armpit, and I had rotated as far as I could to try and escape. Which way did you rotate? Yo, what? Let me keep reading. But he had full positional control. As he's going for the scoop on my heel, I tapped. You know how there's guys who are really controlled when they grab subs that don't have a lot of forgiveness? That's not this guy. This guy who goes full speed and isn't letting up until you tap. I tapped as late as I felt was safe. Okay, I didn't tap because he touched my foot. He probably did, but let him explain. I tapped because I recognized that I was in danger of injury with zero chance of escaping the position. This isn't everyone in the gym. I don't have this problem with any other person except this guy. Plus, he's just one of those dudes that is a douchebag. I'm not even saying that I don't like him. You don't like him. I'm just saying that he doesn't like me. He doesn't. I think he doesn't care. He's just rolling. I'm just a chill guy that has been doing BJJ for a year and a couple of months. I don't compete. I train. There we go. I train twice a week. There we go. And most everyone in the gym has been training longer, and they're better. I asked my coach if there's any reason why I shouldn't go to the comp class, even though I'm kind of frail boy and I don't compete. Oh, Jesus. He says it's cool, so I'm like, it's cool. Okay. We're doing positional sparring, and I'm rolling with a guy who is super fast because he's a stud. He's tapping me over and over. And there were a few times where he had complete control of my lower half and was going to grab a heel hook. I tapped. Well, you said he was going for a scoop. Usually when you say scoop, you mean an underhook on the leg, right? You could mean a heel hook. That is possible. I'm not sure how he's using the scoop definition. He was going for a heel hook, and I tapped before he applied pressure because I saw the writing on the wall. This happened like twice in a row. He says, this is a comp class, right? You just going to tap right away in your competition. I was pretty smoked, so I just kept doing my thing, but it bothers me now that I look back. I never had anybody talk about tapping too early in a negative way. well, you kind of getting more into the. I mean, you not a straight beginner anymore, so it's suggested that you know give yourself some time in the position. You know, you said it's training, so he shouldn't be going. He's not trying to. Hopefully, not trying to rip your heel off. Um, let's see. I wasn't tapping out of fear or ignorance of the danger level. I was tapping because I didn't trust this guy and not hurt me, and he had full control of me. And don't roll this guy. He's also 40 pounds heavier than me. Purple belt. Purple belts be mean, man. Yeah, don't roll that guy anymore. Okay, problem solved. Don't roll with him. And go back to the beginners class. Don't roll with these leg entanglements. Again, these stories are one-sided, so we don't know what's going on. Purple belt might have just been chill, and the white belt's a problem, or it could be the blue purple belt's a problem, or they're both problems. Let's see. Brown belt says white belt worried about heel hooks and taps. Sounds kind of smart to me. Purple belt heel hooking. Well, the white belt is saying heel hook. He might not know what he's talking about. Because the guy might be underhooking his leg from single leg X, and white belt's just tapping. Or he might be going for the heel hook. That's true. That's possible. I'm assuming this is a no-gi class, so he should be learning how to defend. Eventually, you need to okay. At Iron Horse, Tony will protect you up until that first stripe on your white belt. After that first that stripe on that white belt, okay, you can heel hook the new people, but it's always with control. And people, especially nowadays, you got to learn how to defend that stuff. Let's see. First time comp class as a white belt tapping. Why did it take 1 year for him to go to the comp class? Nobody's asking these questions. Why did it take 1 year for you to go into comp class? Okay, I don't understand. First time in comp class as a white belt tapping. Maybe a little early is much preferred to the alternative. Also, a good teaching moment for higher belts to pass on some knowledge while helping a teammate develop into better training partners. Yeah, but I mean, it's a two-way street. Okay, the higher belt's helping you develop, putting you in different positions, and then you're helping the higher belt develop by I'm not saying get your leg destroyed, but don't let him get into the position, but you give him opportunities to get into those positions and see how he can control it, what to do. And even from the beginning, he said, yeah, I turned as hard as I could. Bro, you doing more damage than the higher belt. Higher belt's probably trying to save you, and you're over here about to turn your knee out. You got to read between the lines sometimes. Read between the lines. I'd rather they tap too early than try and do some white belt stuff to try and escape causing an injury. Well, he already tried to do that. He already tried to turn out as hard as he could. I'm a white belt. If anyone goes for knees or ankles, I'm tapping instantly. I don't care your belt color or experience. I love walking more. I mean, you can't be afraid of the moves. These moves aren't S tier. Nicky Ryan said it. I'm saying it. It's not S tier. It's more like C tier. It's C tier techniques. And if you have a problem with that, come at me in the comments. But it's a technique, and you learn the defense. All right, it's not 10 years ago. Leg locks aren't vilified anymore. It's just another technique. You got to learn how to escape, and it's not scary. Okay, it's not the boogeyman. They won't look at your leg and tear it from a heel hook. Okay. Let's see. Also, most of the time, we don't understand what's going on below the belt. Yo, in more places than one, apparently. But what you do, you slow down. You can ask a question like, hey, what's going on right here? Okay. Don't just tap and give up the position. Like when that happens with me, I'll be like, hey, okay. I'll just tell them, hey, you're in this position. You need to try to get your heel to the floor. You need to pry my hands apart. You need to do this. And I'll try to break it down so they're not afraid and they have some kind of working knowledge. And usually I won't even go for this stuff on new people. So that is kind of on the purple belt, unless it's no-gi, because in no-gi we can't really tell the belts unless you got the rash guard colors on. This is the smartest option, and it should be utilized. I mean, you could tap early. Again, I don't know the position. I think he was scooping under underhook the leg from single leg X, you know, like Marcelo Garcia style. I think that's what he was doing. I don't think he was going for a heel hook on the new white belt in comp class. What school allows you to do a heel hook on the new white belt in comp class? Unless he's got a, well, I don't think this guy's got stripes. I'm already warmed up, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. Reddit, thanks Reddit. So now we got a new video. Officer Dave sent me this. Shout out to Officer Dave from Iron Horse. And it says, how long could the average person survive against each belt rank in jiu-jitsu? So I'm going to try to play this video and hope I don't get caught with a copyright strike. This is a reaction video. I'm just reacting to the video. I didn't produce the video, but I'm reacting to the video. So, you know, always going to give props to the person, Logan Nash. I'll go ahead and give you a subscribe and a like. There we go. I'll pay the tax. So let's go ahead and change my perspective on here. Sometimes this helps with the copyright, you know, helps me not get hit with the strike as badly. Hopefully, disappear. There we go. Let me move back a little bit, guys. So it says, how long could the average person survive against each belt rank in jiu-jitsu? So I'll speed it up a little bit, because it's not that long actually, but I prefer that a little bit more for myself. Make it bigger. There we go. Scoot back a little bit. Some magic, some little bit of magic over here. Boop, and we're good.
If you've ever watched jiu-jitsu before, then you know it's easy to respect the techniques that the athletes use. But have you ever wondered how long an untrained person could survive against them? Today, one untrained man will face off against each belt rank to find out the answer, only on Logan Nash Films.
I'm gonna assume he ain't gonna do well. If you let me know in the comments what you guys think, but I don't think it's gonna go well at all. Let's see.
What's going on, guys? Logan Nash again, back today with another video. Today we've got Hunter, who is an average sized person, and we're gonna take him against each belt rank. A white, blue, purple, brown, and eventually a black belt. We're gonna test him to see how long he can survive against each belt rank. And we've got a little game and a little bit of a cash prize here today for Hunter. If he can survive 3 minutes with the white belt, he wins $20. 2.5 minutes with the blue belt, 2 minutes with the purple belt,
Okay.
a minute and a half with the brown belt, and 1 simple minute against a little old me. And he can win $20 per person, up to $100 in total. Hunter, how you feeling about your chances?
He need more money than that.
I got wraps and a white belt.
Okay, okay.
Blue belt's gonna be competitive. After that, it's gonna get tough unless it's you. You're the shortest guy here.
Okay, that's true, that's true. I'll give you that, okay.
Reach and leverage.
He ain't making
All
that
right, you
minute,
said you have a
bro.
little bit of training,
He
so
ain't making
give
it
us
past
a
white
little bit of
belt.
background on what your previous training is.
Some backyard Muay Thai with body mates.
Okay, okay.
A little bit of boxing. Never grappled a day in my life, minus the.
He
one
cooked,
time
bro.
I
He
was
cooked.
Straight ankle
He
lock.
cooked.
So we'll figure out where we can go from there.
Well, Hunter, it looks like we're going to be in some big danger here. So let's get the party started and see how we do.
Round 1, fight.
Very own brother.
Hey.
Nice little trip there by Scout. Hunter, doing a good job of getting back
Hey.
up. So let's see if Scout can get under.
Arm
I know
bar?
Scout's game
Close
plan.
guard?
I think Hunter even knows a little bit of Scout's game plan. Let's see how long Hunter can last. Remember, straight footlocks only are allowed today. No knee bars to hold. We're nice guys here.
Oh no. No. Just from the last Reddit post. This is the guy from the last Reddit post. No, you should have let the leg locks go, bro. Because if you're gonna catch a new person leg lock, it would be over immediately.
Little white arm bar.
Arm bar, let's go.
Whoa, he might have him.
Oh dang, get a white belt, get it white belt, get it,
Tap yet, and we're more than 30 seconds in.
Get it, white belt.
We're doing pretty good.
get it white belt.
Oh,
Hey, all right, he cooked.
42 seconds.
Get him out of here.
42 seconds. We're gonna
Give him
Hunter
$5.
time. Good work, buddy. So against the white belt, Hunter survived for 42 seconds. He's now going to have to try to survive for 2.5 minutes against the blue belt. Let's
He
see how
cooked,
does.
bro. He cooked.
2.5
Round
minutes.
2,
He cooked. Oh, well, what is he doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. I feel like a back take or hip throw. There we go. Oh, dang. Buggy choke. Buggy choke.
Watch that arm there, Hunter. Oh, watch that arm there, Hunter.
Hey, you about to get arm barred. Back take. Oh, dang. Rear naked choke is right there. The rear
Hunter's
naked.
not allowed to run away today.
The rear
He's allowed
naked
to show
choke
up.
is right
He can
there.
go into the field position if you would like. That is an allowed technique. And it's-
No, you can't.
it isn't expected.
You should be able to turtle up and run away.
40 seconds in. Doing a good job here.
Oh,
Now past the point.
they got him, bro.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, they got him.
And that's going to be the tap at 52 seconds. That's pretty solid. Yeah, 52 seconds. Again.
You got to do this with like a huge jacked guy next, and then nobody taps
Hunter's
him out.
0 for 2 right now, but don't worry, we're now getting into the upper belt, so I'm sure his chances are going to be much better now.
You can tell the black belt like, I can't wait till this guy come for me.
Blue belts are nicer than blue belts. That's a well-known fact.
No, they're not.
Well-known fact.
Oh, he's joking. Oh, dang, purple. Like, all right, I'm taking this guy.
I said nicer.
No, they the most dangerous. No, actually, you might be right. Oh no! Oh no! This is the guy from the Reddit video. He tapped too early. You see what that looks like in real life? He didn't do anything yet. Homeboy tapped super fast. Like, bro, he didn't even do anything yet. So you see why I was getting upset with that last Reddit post, guys. It's not just me. It's not just me.
Not bad at all. Hey, again, I guess a purple belt, that's no joke. If you're watching at home and you have not had the opportunity to train jiu-jitsu yet, let this be your wake-up call. You need to be training jiu-jitsu. And now we get
Come
into the
train,
brown
guys,
and black belt
at
portion
Iron
of the
Horse
show.
in Alpharetta, Georgia.
The fun fact about brown and black belts, we're a little twisted. We usually don't like to finish them right away. We like to play with our food. So we'll see what Jason's strategy is. He needs to survive a minute and a half against Jason here. Ready?
Nah, he
And
cooked,
let's
bro.
go.
He cooked. Brown belt. Brown belt. Brown belt going slow. All right, you got to pressure. You got to pressure tap him. Don't do judo, bro. Oh, there's it. Oh no.
I was gonna make it quick and simple.
Back take. I think everybody's going rear naked choke.
Oh, no, not that one either.
Go for that one. He's trying to be fancy though, bro. Brown belt think he too cool.
Where's that Muay Thai at, man? Oh, no, not
Doesn't
yet.
work when I can't get on my feet.
Yeah, that's the thing about
Yeah, he playing with them. All right, no, come on.
it.
They're like, gotta make the video longer than 7 minutes,
5
so
seconds in.
you gonna try to broad a platter or something? I don't know. What are you gonna try to do, bro? You gotta do something different.
Uh-oh.
He's not representative of all brown
Survived
belts.
A whole minute. Oh, uh-oh.
He should have done pressure tap.
I think I know the strategy here. Me and Jason are gonna play the old game of how close to zero can we get the old bomb defuse game. Oh, he's down to 20 seconds. All he has to survive, and that's a tap. Hey, he did a great job.
Again, he tapped too early. That wasn't a real triangle. He probably could have gotten out of that.
All right. Well, so far Hunter is 0 for 4. Now he is up for his final challenge. Little old me.
So he deserved that money, bro. He getting his ego crushed. This is what it looks like when Reddit people go to train. That's what it's like. They be talking all this crap up to me and everybody else, and then that's how they be rolling when you see them finally. Let's see the scorpion lock. There we go. A little twister action. Yeah, his spine ain't used to that. Oh no, I told you that black belt was coming. I told you. Oh man, I remember what you said. Oh, he got him. He cooked. 27 seconds.
Well, Hunter, unfortunately, you went 0 for 5, so you will be walking out of here today with no money. But we are going to give you a little prize for coming out here, for doing your best. Something that can't be bought, our respect. Good job, Hunter.
He didn't gain my respect. Actually, he did.
Hunter, did you learn anything from this experience?
Let's keep going.
I learned a lot. Let this be your lesson to go do jiu-jitsu and not wind up like me.
Yes, go train.
Heard the man. If you haven't found a gym, go train. And if you're in the Nashville area, please come train with us. Perfectus Jiu-Jitsu, we'd love to have you. And if you haven't already, please watch the video in the description below and like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.
Awesome. Go check him out, guys, if you're in Nashville. That's awesome, bro. Again, shout out to Dave. He's the one that's like, man, this is really cool. I probably would not have checked on this video, but, pretty interesting concept. I think you've got to do the opposite, the reverse now, the super jacked white belt guy. And then, like, okay, nobody's tapping him. So that would be kind of cool. Let's go back to Reddit. I had to, like, relax a little bit. Then I go to Reddit, get upset. Then I go to a different video to relax. It's a vicious cycle, actually, guys. Vicious cycle. And here I am. Boop. Back. Let's see. What BJJ products did you buy that were useless? There's been a lot of them. You guys be scammed out here, bro. Let's see. Flow grappling. No, shout out to Flow Grappling, bro. They gave me the hookup, so I'm all Flow Grappling. I'm pro Flow Grappling 100% of the way. So I'm going to skip that one. I'm pro for Flow Grappling, guys. Every knee brace I've ever tried to roll in. Yep. Any of the BJJ knee braces. I think we did the Anaconda brace. You just probably better off getting one of the bigger brand braces. Let's see. Better than, let's see. Let's see. We already talked about knee braces before. You can check out one of the previous videos. I was talking to a gym mate about those recently. They pretty much do nothing except physically remind you that you have a hurt knee. Anaconda. Yeah, everybody's talking about Anaconda. I talked about that a while ago. And then I messed up the stream, got cut off. This guy says they give a false sense of security. My surgeon also told me that they don't really protect your knee very well. Of course, there's no support. One guy says, I'm pretty sure my knee brace helps in 2 ways. Placebo and gel pad acts as a tiny knee pad. Yeah, so far everybody's saying knee braces. As a white belt, I bought a jiu-jitsu book. Which belt did you buy? The Marcelo Garcia X-Guard book? That was pretty great. That's what we had to learn from back in the day. I think there was a rubber guard book as well with Eddie Bravo. You can buy a book, bro. That's not a bad buy. Feel like most super enthusiastic new practitioners buy grappling dummies and use them like 2 weeks and never again. That was me. Mine sits in the corner and judges me. I think they should be using those grappling dummies. If you got some time, you're at home chilling, you could just do some drills, armbar drills. I wish I had a grappling dummy. If you guys know any sponsors for grappling dummies, go ahead and send it my way. I'll test it out. I think it's a good tool because sometimes you don't have a training partner. You're at home. You don't want to go to the gym. So, you can work with that grappling dummy, Let's see. Grappling dummies, useless. I mean, don't listen to these guys, bro. It's a tool. My friend did a BJJ Fanatics instructional for training with a grappling dummy. His wife was seriously immunocompromised, so it was his only option for training during COVID or through COVID. He tested a bunch of dummies and did reviews on his social media based on seeing him train with them and knowing how technical he is and absolute killers he trains with. I think a lot is finding the right dummy and doing the right drills with it. Yeah, during COVID, bro, we were doing drills. I was doing drills with my gi, like my gi top. You do drills with like tables and counters and whatever you could find. You just do drills because you didn't have a training partner. And so during that time period, man, those grappling dummies were a asset, and they still are. Again, it's great for drills, repetitions. I know you guys on Reddit don't want to do drills. You want to learn ecologically. But man, learning those drills, great for your cardio, your conditioning, and just sharpens you. You're ready to go. I find it funny because in wrestling, Greco, and in, freestyle too, they'll use more training tools like that, more training aids, and they don't limit themselves on a single thought or training methodology. They're going to try everything to see what works. And jiu-jitsu people usually latch on to one teacher, one training methodology, one YouTuber. This is the best, this is the mace, this is the number one, this is all I need. Let's see. Let's see. This guy says, I have 2 grappling dummies, and my response will be all, I don't listen to him. So basically knee braces and possibly grappling dummies. Oh, here's a good one. The breath training mask. I don't think I ever used one for a workout. Yeah, that was popular 2014 or something like that. 2012. The training mask. I don't know what it's supposed to simulate, but it's to simulate you being suffocated when training. Reverse question. Best thing I ever bought was a grip trainer. Was super cheap and good weight range. Small enough that I could put it in my pocket and bring it with me. I use it like a fidget tool when I'm in class or waiting somewhere. Oh, that's a really great thing, guys. A little grip trainer. Yeah, I need to get one of those. Oh, got a little Amazon link there. Super thick mouth guard. Can't keep it in without constantly gagging. Got a thin sisu, and it has protected my teeth numerous bumps, and I leave it in the entire class. Oh no, this guy says my black belt. Oh, I wore it my first class, and some 15-year-old kid submitted me 4 times in a 3-minute round. Like, what the hell? Oh, well, Sorry, Reddit, or sorry, YouTube. I'm cursing. I thought BJJ black belts were supposed to be unbeatable. Well, I mean, just because you bought that belt online don't mean you had the skills, bro. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Now we got another video from Lucas Lepre, Knoxville. It says BJJ for beginners, how to drain your cauliflower ear. So I was talking to a student recently about this at Iron Horse. I forget who I was talking to. Skylar or somebody? Yeah, I think it was Skylar. Shout out to Skylar. Actually, he wrestled, so he should know a little bit more about cauliflower ear than I do, right? I mean, I got some bad cauliflower ear. Let's see if you guys can see. I'll show you real fast. Let me turn it back on. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm like multitasking. There we go. There we go. There we go. So I got some gnarly cauliflower on this side. Yeah, and this is after it's been drained. You know, it's been probably over a decade plus at this point. But it was even bigger. So yeah, drain those ears, guys. Drain those ears. Drain those ears. Drain those ears. Let me finagle this one more time. So again, this is a reaction video. I'm not trying to steal your content. I'm just reacting to your video. Alrighty. Wee. And I don't have the sound on.
And go over.
Let's turn it back on.
All right, guys. Fundamental Fridays Club. We have a special video coming up. And go over how to drain cauliflower ear. All right, Blake got this a while ago.
That was
Kinda put
good.
it off.
You can
decided
fry
to go to
that
the
thing up.
doctor. They didn't know how to drain it. Right?
Yeah, the doctors don't know.
Someone prick your ear and squeeze your ear. All they did was cause more damage back in here. All right? I gotta pull the fluid out. I don't want to cause any more trauma to the inside of that ear because your capillary bed in your ear is so small, you bleed out a lot faster than you can reabsorb. All right, that's why you get this. Okay, so we're gonna drain his ear. Always
Sterilize it, guys.
clean the surface.
All you outside users, don't be using the same needle.
We're gonna get in here
Clean
real
it.
good. His
Use
ears
a
will feel lot
professional,
better
too.
Once we take this pressure away.
Yeah, you know that thing hurts. Ugh.
If you're new to jiu-jitsu, this happens. Find a wrestler. A wrestler's gonna know how to drain this, I promise you. All right? All of us have done this numerous times to ourselves and to our buddies.
Get a medical professional. Heck, I think
Bigger
Nam did
needle
this
you can get, the
to
better.
Diego
This
one
is-
time.
I felt in here, this seems fairly fluid, so it should come out. This is not the smallest needle, it's not an insulin needle, but it's not the biggest gauge I've used before either. But depending on how thick it is, will determine what size gauge needle you need. All right, his is still pretty squishy, so this needle should be fine.
Viewer discretion advised, guys. About to get bloody. YouTube, this is for
And
educational
I'm gonna come in
purposes.
from the bottom here. You can tell where they pricked it here in the middle and kind of at the top. That's wrong. I want to come in from the bottom and I want to push this fluid. I'm going to put a little pressure on the cauliflower ear as I draw it out, okay? So I'm going to come in right here. I've got to get in between the cartilage here of his ear. Going through the cartilage.
It hurts. It hurts.
All right, I found a little pocket right here. I can tell there's a little piece of cartilage come here and there's a little groove here. Man, it's full. We should get a lot out of this one. See?
You should be wearing gloves, but you know, whatever. What do I know?
Just breaking the skin.
There you go. So you see what's in that ear, bros? Blood and pus and fluids. And then, yeah, I don't miss those days, guys.
You got to move it around a little bit, find that pocket. Sometimes there's more than one pocket. I think I got the main one. I can feel it.
Okay, so you see it's getting smaller. But that thing can always blow back up, so that's why we have to put compression. If you're old school, like the clothesline clip, hair clips, I used to use everything. Yeah, it would hurt. That was a good one. Look at all that fluid, guys. You don't realize how much is in there. See, I try to wear ear guards before you get to that point. His ear looks normal again, almost, basically.
Look how much smaller that looks.
Go ahead and wipe that blood off again.
So we got about 2 cc's.
About back to normal.
Here. There's still some in there. What I would do is there is a secondary pocket in here. Most of it was down in that lower one.
He should be using gloves, I believe.
What's going to happen is it's going to puff up again. What Blake needs to do, and I'm going to give him some needles to take home. He needs to drain this thing. You need to drain this thing 2 to 3 times a day for about a week and a half. You've got to stay ahead of the bleeding. It keeps bleeding out, but it can't reabsorb the blood fast enough. You've got to stay ahead of it. Keep it pulled out. You can also buy those little magnet compressors and stuff like that. That will help a lot also, but don't let somebody squeeze your ear, all right? If they're squeezing your ear, they need to lance it and push it all out, and then you need to sew gauze to your ear, so go to an ENT for that. But it's kind of the way we've drained.
ENTs don't know anything about cauliflower either.
Wrestling rooms, it's the way we drain them here at Lucas Leopard Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Awesome. That was a great video. Yeah, try to wear your headgear, guys. It can, oh, Jesus Christ. Thank God I moved that video off of there. ENTs, they usually don't know what's going on. So when I had cauliflower ear, I had to like print out, whatever Wikipedia information, like off the printer, and like had to give it to them so they would understand what it was, because I went to a few people, they didn't know what was going on, so I had to like explain what cauliflower ear was. Yeah, they don't know, so I try to get someone that trains that's also in the medical field, and then make sure that everything's sterilized, clean needles, gloves. You don't want to get staph or anything, guys. That's like the worst thing ever. Now we got ranking every takedown in BJJ and wrestling, from God tier to trash. There's no trash. Actually, there's no trash moves. And this is Brandon Reed's. If you saw him on one of the videos with jiu-jitsu, so please don't hit me with that copyright strike. We're just doing a reaction to your video. Let's get in.
Australian grappler Josh Saunders' YouTube channel. He came out with a tier list for some.
I did that one too, guys. I reacted to that video as well.
I'll put the link to that like up here. You should see it pop up, and in the description below, just so you guys can actually go watch the original video. But I really like tier list, and I'm like, oh, why haven't I done a video on this? So today's takedown tier list is going to include, like, I'll say the general versions of takedowns, right? There's so many different variations of takedowns, so I'm gonna use the general name, and this does not include setups, right? So like if I say something like a single leg, I'm not saying like a single leg from the outside or a high crotch or a underhook single leg. It just means the move, the finish, etc., right? So that is the general idea. How we're gonna lay it out is we're gonna go, God tier. So God tier essentially means these are takedowns, when done properly, are extremely, extremely hard, if not impossible to counter, right? There's always a counter for sure, but I sat down and I thought, okay, which ones are really, really, really hard to counter when someone hits it? Because even in the great and good tiers, even if you hit these perfectly, even if you do everything right, there's lots of really good options to counter them. Whereas in God tier, once you hit them perfect, it's pretty difficult to use. Also, I'm not using jiu-jitsu necessarily as a measuring stick for these takedowns. These takedowns are in general for grappling. So this includes folk style and freestyle wrestling. So I'll give explanations for stuff, including jiu-jitsu, but it's not just a takedown tier list for jiu-jitsu. It's a takedown tier list for no-gi grappling, all right? So not judo, no-gi grappling, meaning college wrestling, catch wrestling, freestyle wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. So our first list is the God tier. Number one is the go behind. Whether you get the go behind from a snap down or you get the go behind from someone's bad shot, once you've blocked the elbow and you start to spin behind, it is one of the most difficult takedowns to avoid. You think I'm wrong, go look at the NCAA's takedown stats. The #1 takedown in college wrestling for the past like 20 years has been the go
International
behind from
too.
someone's bad shot. Spinning behind someone as they take a bad shot or off of a good snap down. The reason it's so hard to counter is because you're getting so much weight on your opponent's hands and you're blocking their elbow so they can't utilize underhooks. At that point, your best option is to try to scramble, and even then at a higher level, it gets really, really difficult to scramble from there. Obviously, again, it's not impossible, but that's why I choose the go behind. Next, I only have 2 in the God tier list, right? Next is the blast double from a reshot, all right? Or a reshot, but you know, blast double from reshot, right? This can either come from space where you get your opponent reaching and you shoot your blast double, or they shoot a shot, you wait and you counter with your own blast double. The blast double, when done properly, is literally impossible.
Shout out to
counter.
JB,
You can't
Jordan
keep
Burroughs,
someone,
king
you
of the
can't
blast
sprawl.
double.
When they have your hands out, they have your hips back, they have your knees folded, you're done. You're done. Unless there's like an insanely crazy skill difference, like Jason Olfa, I think like in like 2019 or something, hit a roll off of it. I've never seen anyone counter a good blast double that's in the center of the mat. It's hard. Now, of course, you can stuff shots. That's different. But the point of this takedown tier list is when someone gets into the attack, what are your chances of actually countering it? That's what this is. It's not can you stop it, because you can stop it, but like when someone gets in, once they have both hands on the legs on a good blast double, as long if you guys are similar sizes, you're done for. A good blast double is my only other / reshot, right? Is my only other takedown in the God tier list, right? So God tier list was go behind and blast double. Now we're gonna go to the great tier list. These are takedowns that are really good. They're pretty high.
I still don't know about the blast double though.
I
don't know.
Pretty much know what you do. There are lots of ways to prevent these takedowns from being finished. #1 is the single leg. I love a good single leg. But the reality of it is, if you guys know anything about actual wrestling, there are so many ways to counter the single leg. Very simply, pulling your partner up or pushing their hand beneath your knees can create a lot of problems with single leg. #2 is the ankle pick. The ankle pick is one of those great ones where it's like you hit it and it can be beautiful, but also, again, similar issue to the single leg where if people know that that's what you do, even when you get in, it's pretty easy to actually game plan for a good ankle pick. And even again, if I get that hand on the foot, it's not a guarantee. That's why I had to learn a lot of chain wrestling from the ankle pick, but because the pure ankle pick itself actually has a lot of flaws, and people who are really good at limp knees, wizards, etc., can do a really good job of shutting down your ankle pick. Third one is a double leg. But remember, I talk about blast double leg in the God tier. When I talk about double leg, I mean head on the outside double leg. The reason the head on the outside double leg is in great versus the God tier with the blast double is because with the head on the outside, you have the ability to manipulate the head, right? For jiu-jitsu, that means you have the ability to pretty much grab the neck by pushing the head into your armpit. But in wrestling, you have the ability to manipulate the head, getting it across the body, forcing your opponent to post. And there's just so much more ability to scramble, to hit switches, to hit Granbys off of it versus the head on the inside or the blast double, where your ability to do those things isn't really as good. Again, this is the great tier, right? This isn't crapping on these takedowns. This is still great, right? It's not God, but it's great. The next one is my personal favorite, duck unders / outside steps. I put these together because a lot of the stuff you hit.
Shout out to Xavier.
You can also hit, grab the legs, which the only difference between the two is on a duck under, at least the way I do it, you're doing an outside step with your hand going to the far hip. On a normal outside step shot, you go an outside step, hand into the leg, right? Or to both legs. I really love duck under / outside steps. I put this on the great tier because once hit properly, it's pretty freaking hard for you to scramble. But again, one of the issues is that someone knows what you do. It's not, I won't say it's easy, but there's an ability for you to game plan against a person, whether it's making sure you're just timing the square up, or again, your head has to be on the outside for these. So taking advantage of the neck or the head, especially if it's not timed well. All right, guys, next we're going to our good tier. Good, again, it means it's not God, it's not great, but they're solid. They work, but again, they have very glaring issues, especially against people who are pretty decent. #1 is the low single. Everyone's gonna be like John Smith, but you're like, man, most people are not John Smith with their low single. The weakness of the low single is that head position is not easily manipulated, but the potential to manipulate the head versus your opponent's low single is very high. Next is the high crotch. The high crotch is one of the most fundamental takedowns in folk style and freestyle wrestling. Even more popular in folk style wrestling if you actually watch. The big problem with the high crotch is, again, especially if we consider all sports like jiu-jitsu and MMA, is unless you have the ability to be extremely explosive and lift your opponent up and turn their body, the high crotch often leaves you with not only your neck exposed like the double leg does, but it also leaves your elbow on the inside of your partner's hips, meaning it's very easy to block that elbow to prevent your lift, and it also stuffs your elbow, making it very easy to do a head and arm guillotine. So high crotch, I wouldn't say easy, but high crotch has its glaring weaknesses, but it's still good because if you can lift your partner, even if they grab your neck, it's very easy to turn them, right? But the problem is a lot of times you can't. Next is the snatch single. I put the snatch single in good and not great because it's just hard depending on your partner's stance. Again, the snatch single is much more low percentage. It requires really, really good timing, and also you got to be pretty dang short to hit it consistently. For me, I'm a little bit taller. I like the snatch angle. I drill the snatch angle, but it's realistically very difficult for me. I'm basically 6 foot tall, right? It's very difficult for me to actually finish a snatch angle or even get to a snatch angle because of just the height differences that are usually there with me and my opponents. I think the snatch angle can be put in the great tier depending on your height. Next is the throw by. I hit a couple throw bys at Nagai Worlds. I think I hit 2. My biggest thing with the throw by guys is like when you have whether you have double unders or one underhook, it's where you throw across your partner's body, right? The big issue with the throw by is if your partner is a lot stronger than you, it's really, really hard to do, especially if you don't hit it off of a reshot, right? Usually when I hit a throw by, it's not off of me punching an underhook and going. Usually it's off my partner shoots a shot, I grab an underhook as they shoot the shot, and I use the momentum to then hit the throw by. If you don't have proper momentum, the throw by can be super hard unless you're Trent Hidley or Hassan Yazdani, but it's such a specialized takedown that it is great. The reason I put it into good is because it's extremely difficult to hit.
Shout out to Helen.
Has physical advantages against you, even when your technique is really, really good. This goes into the next one, the body lock. The body lock has its advantages and disadvantages. One of the things that's scary about the body lock is it really leaves you open for a lot of the party tricks. That's gonna be the next tier, right? The body lock opens you up for really fancy counters, whether that's the stuff you guys saw at ADCC with Pixley and Marigali, you just use that as a great example, or whatever. If you see a really good judoka get put in a body lock, they'd have a really good time throwing you. And also the same happens to be true for lots of wrestlers. So the body lock's great. It's so solid, and it is one of the hardest ones to counter. But if your timing with those counter throws or trips is pretty good, it makes it a very dangerous takedown to use, which is why I don't really use it too much. I use it, especially in jiu-jitsu where there's no shoes, because you kind of have to rely on, like, that's the most optimal grip, to be honest. But in the pure wrestling world, I would put this in good, not great. Next, guys, we have party tricks. Party tricks, how I define party tricks is these are moves that do work. I'm not saying they don't work. I hit some of these moves. They're just moves that are almost easily studyable, like as an opponent, and don't work quite as well. Now, there's tiers in this party trick thing, right? But this is not me saying they don't work, because I hit these moves. I hit these moves in competition. I have instructionals on some of these moves. But compared to other more fundamental takedowns, they are, again, party tricks. Can work, have worked at a high level, but often are easily prevented. Number one is foot sweeps. Foot sweeps look great. We all see foot sweeps on TV. They're hitting the Olympics.
Whoa. That ain't a party trick. That's good technique. Shout out to J-Flow. If you get a foot sweep, bro, they gotta be higher than that, bro. It ain't no party trick. It's real.
All the time. But to be honest, it's very few individuals like Helen Maroulis, Steve Mako, and amongst others who hit it at a high level, because that's what they do. But 90% of the time, most people aren't using foot sweeps because it's actually pretty hard to master them. Next is one of my personal favorites is the inside trip. The inside trip, again, works at a really high level. Party tricks does not mean it doesn't work at a high level. Party tricks just means, like, if you hit this, you're literally like, wow, I can't believe they hit that in a match. The inside trip is clearly one of those ones where, again, this is a great counter to the body lock if you time it right, but it can be extremely difficult to hit. And again, if someone knows that you like to do inside trips, they can pretty much put their hips back and it makes it very difficult. The super duck, one of my favorites, right? I said duck unders and great, but super duck, I'm kind of making it its own class. Again, when you hit a duck under, when you hit a super duck, people are like, wow, whoa. I hit so many duck unders and super ducks in my life, so like I know how useful and effective it is. But again, it's a party trick. It's one of those things where most of I rarely hit it on like the best of the best people, just because they will watch film, they keep their elbows in, and they're ready to square up when it does happen. And so it's a great move. I love the super duck. I think everyone should learn the super duck, because it's a great move when you're like, man, I have to try to score. You hand fight hard, you get your partner reach and you hit it. But I wouldn't say it's in the God, great, or good tier. I think it's not quite as reliable as something like a go behind or a single leg. Next is the wrist snap. Vincent Rodman from NC State's the guy that's made it really popular recently, but you saw the Russians hit it a lot, specifically Gudisov. The wrist snap is such a party trick that you can only name like 4 wrestlers who ever hit it, you know? So yeah, pretty obvious. The last one in the party tricks is the slide by. I'm the guy who loves the slide by, but we all know as soon as it gets slippery and sweaty, the slide by does not work. And if I know that, hey, this guy only has a slide by, I can keep my elbows in, I can hand fight, I can punch at the shoulders. All I have to do is prevent doing the collar tie or a tight inside bicep tie and just focus on outside ties and space. And then you can't really hit a slide by. But the worst part about the slide by is that if people know you're good at the slide by, they just won't make contact with you and they'll wrestle from space, which then inevitably makes it really hard to actually use the move. That's why I call it a party trick. It's a great takedown because it gets you behind your partner's elbows and it gets you straight to the back. But just like the super duck, if people know that's what you're going to do, it's actually pretty easy to prevent as long as you're disciplined. Now, our last tier is the trash tier. All right, these are the ones that are only hit by scrubs. Like, or you can only hit on scrubs. Like, if you see this hit on someone good, and what I mean, guys, is the person. Let's say I'm doing one of these trash moves. I use the move. I hit the move. I take the person down and I score my 3 points. If you're doing college wrestling, I score my points. I guess jiu-jitsu too. Like these are moves that just don't really work at a high level, and they're moves that, yes, you guys can probably go through YouTube and look through 1 million different wrestling videos and probably see them hit at certain times, but they're not high percentage. Honestly, they're pretty trash, and I wouldn't suggest that they're a part of your main arsenal. Sure, it's fun to have them as just side options, but I put these in trash because I'm like, yes, it's okay to learn them, to do like, to have fun and play with them, because it's just a sport. You're trying to have fun, you're trying to do art, but these are not the ones where it's like you don't want to be the kid who only has these moves, and there are some people like this. So the first one is the Russian spin counter, like the Russian spin double,
wait a
where
sec.
your person
I like
has
that one.
A Russian tie, and then they spin. And then they double.
It didn't work out that
double
time. It did not work that time, but I like that move.
It's so trash. There's so much space. It's very predictable, and it's actually extremely easy to counter you when you do this because you're giving out so much space. Your elbows are usually open. It's hard to actually hold position. The greatest example was Haisam Rita versus Cyborg, where Haisam, I believe, got the 2-on-1.
That's not the best example because Haisam's so tall. He's basically a basketball player. So he's just like, I think it's just a bad matchup. But I like the technique. It's just that time was not the best time.
Spun out to hit a double leg, and his elbows were super wide open, and then he got armbarred and finished, right? That's Tyson's biggest win, and it came off of Cyborg using kind of a trash move, which, again, it can work. But good luck, especially hitting it on an athletic person. The next is the hip toss. Oh, my God, my judo people are going to be crying in this video when I say the hip toss.
Why'd you bring that up, bro?
The hip toss isn't so great is because, unlike in the gi or in judo, where you have really good grips, the hip toss is very easy to slip if you know what you're doing. You feel it, right? You feel your partner settling their hips. I've wrestled my whole life. I've never been hip tossed. I've wrestled Greco nationals, freestyle nationals, and folk style nationals. Tons of years, countless years. Hip toss it's pretty much a fake move. It's like, yes, you guys, someone's gonna be like, well,
he said it. I didn't say it. He said that.
This person do this.
I didn't say that.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You know if you know, right? We're talking about, would this work against a good, skilled wrestler? Hip toss, they can work. You can definitely do a Hail Mary. Like I said, it's good to have a Hail Mary takedown, but the hip toss is not the greatest option. I think that it's a trash takedown. I think that you honestly are wasting your time drilling.
Judo people, get him, not me. Get him.
You'll definitely be able to hit it on people who never wrestled before, and for sure, you'll be able to hit it on some good wrestlers. Like you can catch anyone, right? You can catch anyone. That's the truth of the matter, right? I'm not saying it doesn't work ever at the highest level, because I'm sure it does, but we're talking about percentages here, what's high percentage and what's not high percentage. I think the hip toss is at one of the lowest. That brings me to my final two, and the second to last one is the Imanari roll. This move is just absolutely trash, and if you hit it on someone, and guys, when I say that,
Wait, it's not trash. And the wrestlers are doing that move now. Yo.
Roll, I don't mean the Imanari roll to get into a leg lock. This is not a leg lock video. This is a takedown video. I mean the Imanari roll where you grab the ankle and then you stand up and you finish the takedown. Horrible move. Doesn't work on anyone good. I've never seen it ever once hit on anyone good. Lastly, I think I could put this in party tricks. Also,
his definition of good is, because he wrestled in college, is not reliable, because he probably thinks all jiu-jitsu people are trash at takedowns, So you gotta kind of frame it a little bit better for us.
The broomstick. It's like when someone shoots and you flare your legs out. I actually have a video. You guys will see me hitting here on MMA Guy, but it's like one of those things that is kind of embarrassing if you get hit with, and it really doesn't happen at a high level.
That's the number one move in jiu-jitsu. If you're Brazilian,
exhausted and taking really bad, desperate shots. But if we're thinking two good guys who got a good gas tank for 7 minutes in a wrestling match or even a jiu-jitsu match, the broomstick should not happen. It just should not happen. I love it. I think it's a great, fun move to hit, and I think it's one of those ones that you can play with and have fun with. But I think it's trash. But that is my list, guys. In the comments below, tell me I want you guys. I have a job for you guys. You don't even think about my list. Tell me one God tier, great tier, good tier, party trick, and trash tier takedown. Put it down below. I want to read your.
So you guys go watch that video and comment what takedowns you think are S tier, F tier, B tier. You let them know. And again, that is Brandon Reeds. Please don't hit me with that copyright strike. Just doing a review, a reaction. Only on YouTube are they like, oh, you're using my content. No, I'm just reacting, bro. Reacting. Let me switch myself. And I'm back. Poop. That was pretty good, actually. Some of the things I didn't agree with, but I think his standards for what's good is so high that unless it works in the Olympics or NCAAs, it's trash. So mostly. Let's go back to Reddit. I think last Reddit before I get upset. Lacking aggression or something else? ? Hi everyone. I'm a blue belt and have been rolling for 3 years. I'm tall, fit, flexible, and young. Is this a dating profile? Yo, I'm also 215 pounds. Yeah, this is dating profile. Oh man. And despite these advantages, and also knowing to the extent a blue belt knows jiu-jitsu, I have such a hard time executing takedowns and offense that leaves me in a dominant position, even against aggressive white belts. Oh, brother. If I get on top, I'm in fine. If I get in top position, I'm fine, but I find myself playing a lot of bottom side and bottom half. Bottom side? So you get your guard pass? You're not playing that. Just trying to get on top. My defense is also pretty good. It doesn't sound like it's pretty good. So I'm not really worried. And subs when I'm on bottom side or bottom half, even against higher belts. You sound like a buggy choke user. Get some help, bro. I'm also good at switching the positions, so I don't necessarily stay in bottom the whole round. But it feels like I always start out that way. It's like the round starts, and I just inevitably, I can't say that, fall into bottom side. I just fall into... What's wrong with this guy? He's got some issues. I just fall into side control. Am I just severely lagging in takedown skill development? Has anyone had a similar experience? Am I not trying hard enough to secure takedowns? I can't tell if this is just a blue belt blues moment and I'm overthinking or I'm missing something. And any help is welcome, please. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, if he would drill and learn how to do some takedowns, I mean, he could just pull guard too. He seems like he's better in guard. Yeah, maybe just got that slower twitch. He ain't able to move fast, you know. Let's see. Blue Belt says, as a former wrestler, the biggest problem I see with BJJ guys in takedowns is lack of commitment. You gotta commit. I mean, think about it. The takedown 2 points. Sweep is 2 points. Yeah, sweep is 2 points, I think. Right? I don't know. Passing 3 points. Get to mount, get to back 4 points. I mean, shoot, bro. I'm gonna go for the higher points. And takedowns don't necessarily help you get submissions. You know, you land in their side, and if you land in their side, awesome. But if you land in their guard, you're not really submitting them. Watch NCAAs. A lot of their shots aren't leading straight to a takedown. You get penetration. Pause. Wrestlers, come on, wrestlers. Going and have to scramble and finish from there. Typically, it's a dogfight trying to finish a takedown. Yeah, it's a fight. I mean, also the rule set in jiu-jitsu, we're trying to get a submission, and in wrestling, they want to get a takedown, possibly a pin or a tech. You know, just different rule sets. Thanks for pointing this out. I have often found myself trying to execute the most technically precise takedowns. Yeah, which is the downside of trying to chase technical jiu-jitsu as well. I'm technical, but I'm always inside control. You're not technical. If you always inside control, you ain't technical, bro. Yo, he think he better than he is, bro. I don't want to say that he's bad, but he thinks he's better. He's delusional. They usually lack knowledge of chain wrestling. I've always taught that against better wrestlers, the first takedown attempt is going to get defended. So it's about chaining takedowns together after the sprawl or whizzer or what have you. Again, where do you want to put your energy in? If you are limited in time, practice time, I mean, do you want to get better at takedowns, which won't necessarily finish the match? Or you want to get better at positions that lead to submissions, lead to, you know, exchanges and point scoring possibilities. It doesn't make sense to put that much time and effort into learning to wrestle a lot of the times for most people, most hobbyists like this dude. You know, if you're more serious, that's when, okay, I need to focus on my wrestling. I need to go to judo class. But if you're just a hobbyist, I mean, really, takedowns open you up to more injuries. There's more dynamic movement. There's the impact from falling. You're not getting submissions. You know, it's just not the best use of your time for a hobbyist. Let's see. Watch the newest Andrew Wiltsey video on this exact topic. Hope he's doing better. Doing a successful throw is similar to landing a successful strike. You need to be able to flow different takedowns off your original one, as well as have good timing and technique. Nobody wants to be thrown on their butt, but like no one wants to be punched in the face. Drill, spar. Well, that's the opposite of what's popular right now, because ecological I don't believe there is an ecological takedown course, is there? Maybe somebody will do that, but more so on the ground, we have drills like how to that help you learn positions and then get to submissions. But most people don't want to drill. I know I watch people drilling in class, and we probably have like 30 minutes to drill, and they probably talk most of that time, and they do the drill like 3 or 4 times. And when I'm drilling, I'm usually like, man, I try to get as many reps in for me and my partner, as many reps possible. And you got to drill for takedowns. Takedowns is that's muscle memory, timing based. It's not cerebral. Usually it's not very cerebral. It's just you got to hit the move and go. But a lot of jiu-jitsu people are kind of going away from that type of training because it's not fun, because it's monotonous, because it's brain numbing, that I got to drill my shot 1,000 times. Got to drill that duck under, that super duck, that high crotch, that single, that sweep single. You got to drill that 1,000 times before it feels like it clicks in. And, there's just no other way. I think you have to get more reps in practicing your takedowns. Again, in class, there's so much to do. In jiu-jitsu, you got to learn how to pass the guard, get to hold positions, get to the positions, and then start looking for submissions. And then you got to develop your guard. You got to learn how to move on bottom, your submissions, your sweeps, your defense. And then you got to learn all that stuff in no-gi. Oh, now I got to add leg locks. And all that comes with it. And then I got to add in takedowns. All right, okay, Jesus Christ. I have to learn so much technique. I forget stuff now. Now I just forget stuff, and I had to go back to what I used to do back in the day and be like, oh, yeah, that worked really well. I need to add that. So by the end of it, takedowns get left behind because you don't have that much time. Class is 1 hour, 2 hours. I can't split that class. I can't split all my energy up into hitting every zone of technique that I need. And takedowns get sacrificed. It's worth only 2 points to me. Now that 2 points might be the game changer, especially towards the end of a match. I gotta come up for a wrestle up and single leg sit up guard. That's when it's like, dang, I should have practiced my takedowns more. But it's only worth 2 points. But everything else is worth more or equal points. Heck, knee on belly is worth 2 points. What's easier, knee on belly? Put my knee on the belly, get 2 points, or take someone down. I'm fighting for my life to get someone down, 2 points, and I'm exhausted. So it's just like your time. When I wanted to work on my takedowns, I wasn't getting enough reps in just trying to get a takedown during sparring. The most reps I could get in on a 5 to 6 minute round would be 2 to 3 because most of my time was spent on the ground. And a successful takedown or failed one where I end up on bottom. Ask your training partners to just practice takedowns for an entire round where you reset once someone is taken down and stays down for more than 3 seconds. You can do stuff like this. One thing that really helped me back when I used to teach in Sweden, I had like a Friday night class, and it was all wrestling. It was just all takedowns. We would just go to your person was turtled or down on their back or on the on the knees. Pause on that, like turtle position. And we would spend like a whole, basically an hour. I don't think we did techniques. Yeah, I think we would just warm up with whatever your takedowns you're working on. And then we did a lot of positional, just a lot of rounds for like an hour. Just takedowns. No groundwork, no submissions, just takedowns. And that's when my takedowns got the best. Like I was so sharp because I was putting in time and effort and just working my takedowns. And you switch partners, so the rounds would probably be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, so like a wrestling round. And man, that's when my takedowns got the best, when I was just doing takedowns. So I think that's the approach you have to have. So if you focus on doing your takedowns, you focus on doing your judo, you got to get better at that. But when you try to do everything like a regular round, something's going to get missed out on. All right, so we got another video. Hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright strike. I know I keep talking about this, but sometimes it helps, bro. When people hear me complaining about copyrights And then sometimes they're cool because they want to see the video. They want to see the reaction. So we got a video. Jesus Christ. And this is Tyler Spangler. I'll subscribe, bro. Don't hit me with that copyright strike, please. So I consider him a YouTube personality. But he says, I wasted my life doing jiu-jitsu. Don't that sound like a lot of us higher belts? No, I'm joking. So I'm just doing a reaction. Please don't hit me with the copyright strike. That's all I can ask for your consideration. Let me back. There we go. Trying to sit back, guys. There we go. So let's get into it. Let me turn it up just a little faster. You guys know I like to watch things a little bit faster than normal speed.
Jiu-jitsu is a waste of time to learn, and I just lost the last 15 years of my life doing it. Throughout the years of training, I thought I was learning the best martial art, a real superpower. I was convinced that you could beat people of a bigger size even if they're 260, bro, walk around with a fresh ego knowing you're safe and could defend yourself, and that I would be learning valuable skills for the real world from coveted...
Is that Gordon with the gi on?
But it turns out just the opposite was true. Instead, what I racked up from all those years was a list of regrets. And the worst one being, regret number 1, injuries. Have you seen this?
Warning on that video.
Cool walk right from us.
Jesus
Where have you ever
Christ.
shot a double leg and been sprawled on just right and tore your shoulder?
God.
In jiu-jitsu, we love to tell people that it's fun and a safe sport. YouTubers talk about mat safety, coaches talk about band moves, and people claim they don't roll hard in
not
the
ready
gym.
for that.
Yet everyone I know starts jiu-jitsu looking like this and changes into this a few years later. Let's be honest here. The sport is about breaking limbs and choking people unconscious. We pretend that will never happen to you. It goes as far as saying jiu-jitsu is a gentle art when this is the reality.
When we say jiu-jitsu is a gentle art, we mean that.
Regret number 2.
Jesus.
A famous quote for jiu-jitsu is leave your
I need
ego
the
at door.
warning on this.
This is a great motto because you can strip yourself of worries and just spend time learning. But instead of that happening, my Reddit is stuffed with people crying about egos in the sport. The ultimate goal of any martial art is tranquility and self-respect. So let me show you the top athletes of the sport and tell me if they're using it. Even the founders of the sport didn't believe in this.
I gotta watch that
You go to the
video,
gym
that
if you
match.
had the thought of training elsewhere. Have a friend in another gym? Banned. You're a paying member of a gym. You should be treated well. However, that just isn't the case when ego is involved in the sport. And it especially plays a role in regret number 3.
Hey, Ducko.
We practice a sport where you wear a fancy uniform, wrestle around in some pajamas, and one mythical thing holds the
Dean
whole
Lister was
outfit
in there
together.
too.
The belt. This belt is supposed to represent your expertise in the sport. If you're a higher rank than someone else, they're basically a free meal to you, right? Wrong. There are no universal standards to who gets what belt. Jiu-jitsu is a sport that requires money to operate and be a successful business. The students pay those bills and they want to see their time is rewarded, so they all obsess over the cloth around their waist. Gym professors rank up students on a whim, have standards different from everybody else, and some gyms even charge more than $100 just to rank up. Instead of trying to better
way
yourself,
more than
the
that.
students just want to chase a shiny new color. I regret doing jiu-jitsu because I was robbed of my time. I spent 15 years learning a sport where I'd be walking away practically paralyzed. I'm still extremely cocky, and even though I have a black belt, does it even matter when Professor Amazon can just promote you? The only other regret I have is that you watched this video on April 1st and took the video seriously while commenting an essay on how I'm wrong.
Awesome. So he clickbaited you guys, clickbaited us into watching that. Some people feel this way. You know, they spend 15 years, they get purple, brown, black belt, and you're like, all right, I'm done. It happens. You gotta love this stuff, man. You gotta love it stuff. And if you're complaining on Reddit all the time, you're probably not gonna stick with it. You know, you're probably not gonna stick with it. But if you love it, man, you'll keep training. You'll put up with God knows what, all these crazy people in this sport, but you put up with it. Talking about crazy people, let's talk about my sponsors. No, I'm joking. Yeah, you guys know my sponsors. We got BJJ mental models. Let me make myself big. Where am I? Give me 1 second, guys. So much stuff to do. Boom. Where are you? There we go. BJJ mental models. I love how I can make things bigger. Where am I? There I am. I'm having fun, guys. Hope you guys having fun too. Yeah, that's my sponsor. One of my sponsors, guys. Promo code ALEC, ALEC, for a free week trial, I believe. Free week. I could be wrong, but go to BJJ Mental Models. I think it's a great resource if you guys are wondering, thinking about like what to do in jiu-jitsu. If you're having questions, instead of going to Reddit, go to BJJ Mental Models. It'll help give you structured. There's audio master classes from some of the best people in the sport. And they have a coaching tier. That's the one I'm always pushing. I'm pushing you guys to get the coaching tier. It is more expensive, but to have that feedback, having someone to tell you, not if you're right or wrong. Yeah, you should have someone telling you if that's good or bad, right or wrong. But just having someone mentor you is so important. And you got to realize you can't have this at your school. Obviously, if your instructor is really great, you can have them. But I also understand that not every school has a higher belt with that understanding, has an instructor with that understanding to help guide you. You know, some schools, they don't have higher belts, so they're learning online. They're learning through YouTube. They're learning through BJJ Fanatics instructionals. So to have actual feedback, I think is really important. And some of these guys on Reddit, you know, they're afraid to talk to their coach. So, hey, go talk to BJJ Mental Models instead. So that's one of my sponsors, offer code ALEC. My other sponsor, Inverted Gear. Inverted Gear. You guys know I love me some Inverted Gear, man. I'm messing up the screen. I love me some Inverted Gear. There we go. I'm trying to make it bigger. Inverted Gear. You know, I love me some Inverted Gear. Nelson and Hillary. Great people, bro. I love to go see them up in Allentown. Go see my cuz Big Rob, Melvin, Bob, all those guys out there. And I'm still working on offer code, but just go check them out. They just had a new release. Actually, let me cheat the system. Let me find the clip I'm looking for. It's in my email address. Where's my email? Where are you? I know you guys can see me. I can't see you right now, though. They just got this new ultralight gi that came out. Can I make this bigger? Come on, come on. Oi, 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 oi. Oh, can you guys see that? Oh, no, that's not it. Guys, I don't want you to see my files. I'm pretty organized, huh? No, sometimes. There we go. Can you guys see that? Got my email address. Don't spam me, guys. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Go back. Oh, you can't see it. All right, that's great. There we go. Let's move Inverted Gear over here. Yeah, so they got the new ultralight, just came out. Let's see, 280 GSM. So if you guys compete IBJJF, they have to have the GSM. So that's like the grams per whatever, in the weave, how many grams in the fabric. Feather light control, so super light. You know, if you're competing, you want the lightest gi possible. Okay, you guys understand why? So you can have some room to eat breakfast. You can drink a little bit of fluid. If your gi's too heavy and you're close to that weight class, that means you ain't drinking nothing. Precision fit, tailored design. Yeah, really great fit. I have I don't think I had this model. I had the Comp Light, I believe. The best fitting Inverted Gear gi I've had. And some of the gis, I gotta be honest, I didn't like as much. But the competition gi, Nelson, chef's kiss. Stylish, really good style. Panda Nation, easy maintenance. Yeah, you know, just take care of it. You know, don't blast it in the dryer. Okay. Yeah, easy to pack and carry. Yeah, super lightweight. When your gi's lightweight and you're traveling, you know, man, when I travel, put those gis in my carry-on, and if it's a thicker gi, man, those gis can weigh up to 2, 3, 4 pounds. And if you bring like 2 or 3 gis, man, that takes up your whole suitcase. So having a lighter gi and you're traveling is a must. I got some different colorways. Panda Nation. I'm happy to be a part of the Panda Nation. You know, like Fire Nation, we have the Panda Nation. So that's great, guys. Go check out Inverted Gear. Go get that new gi, that rash guard set. Let's see. Now we got some jiu-jitsu. We got some more jiu-jitsu over here. I might just leave my Nelson up here. Nelson, we'll keep you up here. Got some jiu-jitsu. So this weekend was the Austin Winter Open. And so what was important about this is that you have Cole Abate, I don't know how he says his name. He's basically, we made him Portuguese somehow. He's Brazilian now. Versus Samuel Nagai, who's a world champion. So you have up-and-comer versus world champion maybe 2 years ago. So pretty interesting to see how this match kind of goes. I might speed it up, guys, because you know me. I got to go a little bit faster than the regular speed. It's a live stream, so the audio is not super great. It's double guard pull. Cole been losing matches because he's couldn't pull guards for some reason. So there's a way to pull guard. So you got to be standing. You have to make a grip before you sit. So he would be like on one knee or kneel down. He was messing up the guard pull, so he was getting penalized for that. But he didn't realize that. So that kind of shows the importance of these little local tournaments. I mean, Austin's not a small city, but it's a local tournament. So in those local tournaments, we're just adjusting our skills, kind of seeing who's on the scene, see what techniques you kind of need to be working on, what details you got to work on. So I think he worked on his guard pull this time. So you see he's standing, make a guard pull, make a grip, then let's see. Samuel Nagai got an advantage because when you double guard pull, whoever comes up on top first gets an advantage. But if both guys stay seated, you know, they're both in their butt for 30 seconds, they both get stood up, and I think they take a penalty each. Let's go. Cole's playing guard. Let me slow that down a little bit. That was a little too fast, even for me. Of course, some De La Hiva. He had a really good bump on Samuel here. And nice sweep. That was pretty good. You know, he's a Gumby guy. Cole, he's a Gumby kid. So he's able to off balance here. Really, really good bump. And almost got the sweep points, but Samuel Nagai used a little push power. So now it's advantage. Cole got an advantage for almost sweep. Yeah, so passing. So let me pause for a second. So in a few of the videos, the guys are like, "Oh, you should work your takedowns," blah blah blah. But then in my head, these guys are gonna pull guard. What was the point of that? Happened to me when I did ADCC. The guy pulled guard, and then it was like, what was the point of me working takedowns? I worked so much wrestling. I didn't use any wrestling at all. So we have to take that into account that if I'm getting ready for a tournament or something, and like, how much time do I want to focus on my takedowns? If the person pulls guard, I got to work on passing. I got to pass the guard. I'm not doing a single takedown. I got to work on my defending sweeps, setting up my passing. That's hard enough. Now you want me to do takedowns? So whenever people are complaining that jiu-jitsu people don't have takedowns, again, it's the rule set. Maybe this week we'll watch some old, like 1990s jiu-jitsu matches. You'll see that we used to do more takedowns back in the day. It's just right now, it's just geared towards guard playing for the lighter weight classes. So Samuel Nagai's got really good guard passing, but Cole is a Gumby kid, super flexible. Got the key master on the left side over here. It's hard to pass, man. It's just really, really hard to pass. Again, this is a live stream. That's why the audio, there's no real audio. You can hear the speaker kind of moving, going. I feel like for these Gumby guys, you got to stack them. But it's hard to stack these guys. They're so flexible. You can't even get it into stack positions usually. So Samuel Nagai has a really good ankle lock. We might see him go for one. He's super powerful ankle lock. He's tapped a lot of guys. His passing, I think he's got some good left side passing. He did fight Jeff Cummings. Yeah, nice there. You see Cole's so Gumby, bro. So I think we might have a Jeff live stream, guys. Might have his His birthday's coming up, so I might do a live stream just watching some of his old matches. I might put up the Cash App for Jeff. You know, you guys can donate some dollars. I might donate a few dollars too. Nice. Let's see how he did this. So all the AOJ guys are really good at this kind of waiter position, X guard position. So Sam Nagai's his weight is kind of off, and then Cole's able to go down to that leg on the left side. You see, he's almost like a K guard kind of sweep. Nice, a little bit of back exposure. I don't know if he'll get an advantage for that, but he's looking for an advantage. Didn't get it. So that was close, though. That was close. So he's holding onto that leg. So they really like the leg drag. So they'll hold onto that leg and pull themselves, kind of weasel themselves into position. And then Sam Nagai, he's kind of on the defensive right now. He probably doesn't want Cole to come up for a sweep. You see, we got to push the balls, man. Oh, man. That's the black belt secret, guys. We be pushing on the balls. You got both. Look, you got both legs. Yeah, right in there. So AOJ guys are great at this. The bolo double guard pull. This is kind of where they live at. So I'm expecting some type of either an ankle lock entry or leg drag entry. So because they've been on bottom for so long, they see they're getting penalized. All right. They both have an advantage, but they both got a minus, a penalty. So it kind of evens it out or brings it back to 0. I would say Cole has been more offensive, though. So Cole looks to be trying to come up on top now, but Sam Nagai's doing his best to keep him down. Yeah. So when I say come up on top, that means he gets his hips over. Cole needs to get his hips over Sam's hips. That's what we mean by come on top. Pause on that comment. But come up on top. Okay. If not, they're going to probably into the legs. They like to get to like these waiter positions, berimbolo positions, leg drag positions. That's kind of par for the course. You guys see why I be speeding up the matches, huh? Bro, I be watching so many matches, I had to speed them up. They kind of sitting here. Yeah, referee about to give him another penalty. He on the earpiece. I want to go faster, but as soon as I make it go faster, I miss the details. They're gonna stand him up probably. Penalty. So 2 penalties. That means other person gets an advantage. So now they have 2 penalties each and 1 advantage. They might have 3 advantages. I think they have 3 advantages and 2 penalties. I think. I can't see the score. So I was talking, but so Sam Nagai comes back on top. He should have done that earlier before the penalties. So the penalties are to motivate you to move, to create action, progress. So he's coming up on top. He's got good passing, you know. Cole's got like this ashi with the inside hook. That's really powerful. If you go to Iron Horse, we've been working something like this. We got to grab the elbow. Grab the elbow. He didn't grab the elbow, did he? He's not in a bad position. He kind of needs to jump to the other side now, but Cole had a really good grip. Again, he's Gumby, so he can do stuff that normal people can't do. Probably need to go for a leg drag. Cole's got like this cross sleeve kind of position. Oh, nice. Another back step. Let's see what Cole does. Probably going to get his legs in and push away. Oh, that leg, how'd that leg get in there? Did you guys see his leg? I would tear my ACL. He's bringing his right leg over. Right here. You see, it's hard to see, but his right leg is over. And if I did that, I would tear my ACL or my LCL. Yeah, I don't have the internal rotation for that. Because it's across his leg. His right leg is across his left leg like this, just pushing. So that's the kind of stuff we see in competitions. Like, oh, I don't have anybody in training that could do that, but this guy can do it. Super weird position, bro. All that pressure on his LCL. I would have torn my thing. I would have been. Yeah, so he's got like this X with his legs. It's so weird. That is crazy. You guys can't see because the angle, but it's like his legs are crossed. So he's blocking him which shouldn't be possible. So I think he's able to. It's nice. Yeah, Samuel Nagai's tough, bro. All you need to do is not go for that ankle lock. I know he wants to. Cole's got some type of entry. I can't see. He's still in that position. See, you guys can see that right leg that's brought across. It's so weird. And he's got the inside left hook. Yeah. Nice. 50-50. If you let these guys get the 50-50, bro, you screwed up, bro. Don't let an AOJ guy get the 50-50. It basically created the modern 50-50 game. So he's still an Ashi single leg X, but you could have gone to 50-50. Yeah, so if it goes to ref's decision, it would go Cole because he's kind of initiating more. And that's the problem when you're on top. You're forced to do this stuff. That's why it's almost better to play on bottom. I don't say it's safer, but because when you're on top, you're forced to pass. On bottom, you can defend, you can counter fight, you can bump, get near sweeps, rack up advantages. Passing is so hard to get an advantage. You basically got to clear their legs, force them to turtle, get chest to chest, get your leg out. So Cole's doing a good job. He's a tall guy. He can create that distance. And Sam's doing a good job, but it's hard to pass on a Gumby guy. So I was saying stack. So he's kind of stacking now. Right. So now you see, but his legs come in. So you might have the right strategy, but the guy's so Gumby, he can kind of counter your moves. So it's a pretty technical match, and then he's letting him get into, you can't let these guys get into this waiter position. So you see he underhooks the leg, and he's kind of pulling himself to the back. Right here, so this is the bad position for Sam Nagai. Almost calf slicer position. Yeah. Crab right. So he should not be going for that ankle lock, because it's hard to tap these guys. So he might be able to finish, but again, this guy's flexible. He might finish a lot of people with this. But if Cole's able to eat it and come up on top, so you see he's got this leg, this right leg on the balls, basically. That's saving him. Oh. So he had that leg inside, ready. They drilled this move. They were ready for him to go for this ankle lock on his right arm. So I mean, he taking damage. He taking damage. Look, he trying hard. Woo! He took some damage, but he's able to eat it and come up on top for 2 points. 2. There we go. Boom. They drilled this. They drilled this move. Now Samuel Nagai burned himself out. He's a little tired. He's down by 2. All Cole's got to do is kind of wait, defend. So they timed the match, guys. They timed. All right, 1 minute. Okay, he goes up for the sweep. They know Sam Nagai is good at ankle locks. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna go for it. Eat it. Use that to come up on top. Get the 2 points right at the end, and then there's no way for him to come back. So the strategy. We don't have this strategy in Nogi. It's just beat the person or lose. But here the match is already over. Once he gets 2, Sam Nagai's tired. It's hard to. He's not gonna have time to, hold anything. So even if he did get a takedown, a sweep, and took the back, it would take too long to get the points. And so the match is already over at this point. You can just hide. And this is funny because this is how Cole lost to Kennedy. So they basically took the strategy. So this is one way to win in jiu-jitsu, being very strategic. I mean, it's not the best way to win, but it's one way. Especially if you're flying, you're spending money to do these tournaments in Europeans. You're going to Austin, Texas. You're going to Atlanta. You're going to New Jersey, New York, Orlando. I mean, you ain't trying to lose, man. You spent too much money. You invested too much time and energy to go out there and lose. So that's when the strategy comes to play. And the skills are close. He won by 2 points and a couple advantages. Yeah, I think he won just by 2 points. So the skill is close, guys. The skill, we don't have a lot of Gordon Ryans and Margalis and Buchechas anymore. Everybody's kind of right neck and neck. So that was a great match, and that's a local tournament. So these local tournaments are hard to win, bro, because you got to fight these guys. I think we got one more video. This video's gone for a long time. Jesus. So it's How to Start a BJJ Gym by Keenan. He says not too hard. Not too hard. I mean, starting the gym is the easier part, and then running the gym and managing the gym and those egos that they talked about earlier, that's the hard part. Let's see what Keenan has to say.
Another great question is, how do you get started? Now, I'm going to film a more comprehensive checklist of what you need to do to get started, but the answer is just to start. You got to start looking, you got to start securing the money, you got to start your business entity. I recommend S Corp for tax purposes. A lot of people do LLC, but you're still subject to self-employment tax, which is like pretty substantial. If you are an employee to an entity like an S Corp, you get taxed as an employee would based off of what you get paid. Whereas if you keep the money in the business, you're not taxed on it, which is a huge opportunity. Small S Corps are awesome for that reason. Although I've heard they can be a little more expensive. I just made one on LegalZoom the other day. It was super easy. It took like 20 minutes, and I had an S Corp. And then from there, you need startup capital. You need a business plan. You need to know what you're going to do. If you have the startup capital and you work through us, we already have the business plan. It'd be very easy for us to tell you what to do next. However, if you need to figure it out yourself, you need to come up with a business plan of how much you're going to charge these people, how many people do you need to break even, what's the timeline, like what's your runway, how much time do you have to break even, can you do a pre-sale or some sort of market research to see if you're even capable of
I think that's what Keenan did.
Members like that before you commit to a
Like 100 members, like before opening.
Gauging the demand for something like that in your area. Maybe subletting out a facility like at a gymnastics gym or at some sort of other gym and asking if you can put mats down in the corner and see if you can build up some students that way. I know a few people who have done that where they've built sort of a like 50 member clientele where they actually haven't had to commit to any sort of lease just by subleasing. They have these clients. And then eventually when you have enough clients, you can take those clients to a facility if you know that you have enough to cover rent. And then from there, you should be able to gain more members with strategy and execution of that strategy. So yeah, it's really just about starting. And if you're unsure where to go, like I said, we have these resources. I think we're probably the best resource for this kind of information. Obviously, there's a bajillion entrepreneurs and business experts on the internet that you can learn tons from if you're just willing to dedicate some time to YouTube. But yeah, I think right here, you probably have the best chances because we've done it and we know what to do, and it's pretty easy as long as you're a hard worker and you have a modicum of intelligence to actually solve problems. Because that's really what being a business owner is. It's not as much like barking orders and them getting done. It's like, hey, we have this problem. Hey, we have this problem. How do we solve this problem? This, we don't have this. We need this. People complain about this. It's just about being able to look at a situation and apply general problem-solving concepts to it and coming up with a solution and then measuring if that solution was the correct solution. And that's really what it takes. And then you just repeat that by the minute, by the hour, by the day, by the month. You just are continuously solving the problems that arise until eventually there's not as many problems. And then now you have a lot more money to deal with those problems also. So the problems become easier to solve the longer you're committed. But of course, anything that you do to start is going to be difficult. It's going to require effort and struggle and sacrifice. But those are the things that are fulfilling. That's what makes it worth the end result. So don't be afraid to start. And remember, if you don't start, you can't succeed. You must start. You must be willing to be a fool if you are ever to become the master or the expert.
That's true.
And keep a lookout for the guidebook I'm going to make because it'll really just like...
Sounds almost like a MMA blueprint, Keenan.
How much money you need. Negotiating a lease, looking for a place to actually rent, or maybe the cheaper strategy of subleasing someone else's facility so you don't have too much commitment or overhead. And onward to a basic marketing / business plan.
Yeah, a lot of you guys need this business plan
really
guidebook.
About like rounding up at some people who have some access to capital and committing to this and making sure you have some quality instructors who can do a good job teaching. And that's that.
So Keenan brings up quality instructors.
Conor McGregor is not even in the...
Oh, that's a different video, guys. That's a different video. Maybe next time. Maybe next video. Take it back to where it was. So Keenan kind of mentioned, having good instructors. So, man, if you guys have access to good instructors, make sure you're paying those good instructors, okay? There's a few people out there that will, they won't take care of those great instructors. But I see I see that there's a lack of great instructors. There's a shortage of them. But I also see that usually they're not treated very well, and then they have to go start their own thing. So if you see great instructors out there, man, grab and hold them. Don't let them go, because it's so hard. It's to train someone to become a great instructor and skilled, and they can, deal with all your students. They can answer all the questions. They can teach the class. Man, that's an asset. So if you're running your program, your business, man, don't waste those guys, those people, those ladies, those young men. Don't waste them. You want to nurture them. Maybe they might start their own thing one day. That can happen, but you want to at least have a good rapport with them, good relationship with them, and treat them well, man. People, whatever the cost for them to teach the class, it could be $50, could be $100. That ain't that much in the grand scheme of things. But think about how much they're gonna help you retain students, and if they're the first point of contact when a new person comes in the door, and that makes that person sign up, they already paid, that one student already paid for their class. So think about the long term. A lot of instructors, a lot of teachers, academy owners think very short term. Like, I'm going to pay this for this class, but they don't think the long term. Like, oh, having this person might be an asset. People are an asset. That's one of the things I learned from Good to Great. It's a book. I forget who wrote the book, but it was a very positive book in my experience, because they do something different in Good to Great. They say to get the people on the bus before you build. So usually you think, I need to have a great idea and then I'll be successful. But in Good to Great, it was about getting the right people together first, and then those people can help you create something great. So I think that's been very important, but I see people have the opposite thoughts. So think about that, guys. So that was Keenan on how to start a BJJ gym. Not too hard, but sometimes it is hard. Pause on that comment. So if you guys like this video, be sure to check out the sponsors: Inverted Gear, BJ Mental Models, and you guys can always suggest videos in the comments section for me. I'll take a look at it possibly. And that's it, guys. Until next time, peace, 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 peace. And go train, guys. Go train.